From Italy, the Nardo Focus MITTS. Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. I'm Coach Simon, and here on Fit to Box channel I bring you all things boxing equipment. Today is the turn of Nardo's Focus MITTS, and as you can see in that stunning Italian flag design with the logos, red, green, white with the gold 4 hearts of Nardo, and on the rear that cloth badge. And then on the front, you've got the target there as well. So as you can see, the style, beautiful style when it comes to Nardo. These are really in your face when it comes to the style. Some people will love it, some people won't. I'm actually a very extroverted guy, so I absolutely love the styling on these. I think it's really great. As you can see there, those colours, look at the beautiful leather that has been used, and also you've got that cloth badge at the rear with the Filippo Nardo signature at the back there, and of course Master Craftsman underneath that as well. So as I bring that round, these are made of full grain Italian calf skin. I'm just trying to show you every sort of angle of them as I bring them round. And you can see on both sides you've got that embossing, you've got that finger hood there. I always want a finger hood when it comes to my mitts. I don't like the mitts that have got the fingers exposed. And then at the rear of that finger hood you've then got some green and white around the part that goes around the back of your hand. You've got the cloth badge there, and then in there you've got the material, and as I show you that, just try and get so you can see the light, there is a ball, an integrated ball in there. At the outside you can see you've got the zip that goes all around the outside there. You can also undo that, and also you can replace the padding that is inside of there over time. The padding is a high density polyurethane with a middle layer of aglomerate. Okay, so that is for the shock absorption of the blows. As I say, in there is a ball that sits. At first it was on my hand, it was sitting sort of there, but now I've been using them and the leather has stretched. The ball now sits perfectly in the palm of my hand. And then also as well, normally I do like a wrist cushion. Now what I can say is, even though that looks like there isn't a wrist cushion there, there is a ledge right there. So there is in there an integrated wrist cushion. So as you've got them on, like so, your front of your wrist is pressing against that integrated wrist cushion, even though it's not visible from the side. Most times you'll see sort of a lump, but the lump is in there and you can sort of feel it. Now these come in 3 different sizes: medium, small, which is what these are, and also super mini. I would say that these are a little small for my hands, but the more that I've used them, the better they have got. The last few weeks, probably 3 weeks now, I've been using these with loads and loads of different boxes. I've really been enjoying the process of making these sort of fit my hands, and I can say now they are much better fit for my hands than they were on day one. They're a little stiff first of all, but the more that I've used them, the more that they have softened up. Now as I bring that round like so, you can see, and I'll just put them on. So I've been putting them on. There is no left and right on these, so what I've been doing, so the zip is on the outside there, the zip cover. As you can see, you have got those big round circular green targets there, and they really do make a great sound as the gloves are hitting the centre of that pad, and then you're keeping them in a good position against the front of your wrists, and there are some great protection when it comes to your hands. That ball on the inside of your palm really does give great shock absorption. I will say that these are a little heavy. They come in at 15 ounces each, and after you're doing a lot of pad work, especially when you're used to having lighter pads, you can feel it. But I have to say, my arms, my shoulders have now got used to the extra weight. They're not massively heavy, but I do need to point out that there is pads out there that are lighter than these. Let's get the Fit to Box report card on. I'll just put that on the screen there. So you have got unique Nardo style, which if you are an extrovert, you will love. If you are a bit of a shrinking violet, if you're a bit like try to hide when it comes to style, you won't be liking these. But I love how he's integrated the logos and also the Italian flag. You've also got that palm ball that absorbs the shock. You've got the integrated wrist cushion, which I've talked about. And also, as I've already said, these do improve. The more that you use them, they do improve. The padding in there as well, as I've said, is replaceable, and they are made of that beautiful leather. These are actually a usable piece of art, that's what I would say. They are made by one man, Italian master craftsman Filippo Di Nardo. They're available in 3 sizes. They are solidly built. And then I'll just come on to the price. Now the price I'll say at the end of the video, but for the report card I will say, as expected, the price point is probably out of reach for most people. 15 ounce each, so they could be lighter, and the styling, as I've said, is not for everyone. And then all I would also say is at the rear of the hand, you can feel the leather against the rear of your hand. So when you're there, it's not super rough. It is just leather against the back of sort of your hand. You do get used to it. Your hands get used to it, but just have to point that out. It's not like it's lined. I would say if that was lined, that would be more comfortable. Now, obviously, big question when it comes to Nardo products is always the price. And these are €1,500. That is 1,300 UK pounds. Okay, just let you take that in. Before you go to the keyboard, obviously we are talking about a boutique brand. Okay, most people, most trainers will never own a pair of Nardos. Some won't want to, and some will want to, but never will be able to, just because of that price point. Now, as I say, it is probably the most expensive pads that I have ever used, and I do thank Filippo for sending these so I can show my viewers sort of what Nardo is doing when it comes to his mitts. But I also take on board that there is only a certain section of the sort of the population of the boxing world that would pay that price for a pair of pads. I understand it is niche, I understand that it is boutique, and very much like watches, expensive watches, I'll probably spend, the maximum I would spend is £500 on a watch. But I have got a friend, he's bought a watch that's 40 grand. Now let me tell you, I wouldn't buy a car for 40 grand. But he's really happy, he loves what he's got, and the same will be when it comes to these. You know, they're not going to be for everyone, so please don't just jump in the comments and start slating. At the end of the day, if you don't like them, don't buy them. And that's always what I say when it comes to Nardo. I do like the fact that Nardo is on the scene. I think he's a colourful character. I think that he adds to the boxing glove world. Obviously, not for everyone. You know, as Nardo has said many times before, not everyone will own a Bugatti. And that is true. It doesn't mean that you can't appreciate what he's done with these mitts. And I do really like them. It's took me a little while to get used to them. I like the hand positioning where that ball is on the centre of my hand now. I like how they've sort of stretched to my hands, and I like how I can rest my wrists against that there when I'm taking the shots. The sound that these give off when you are doing pads is fantastic. I have had lighter pads, definitely. I've got some speed pads that are super lightweight. These are solidly built out of the very best materials that Nardo's been able to get from Italy. The stitching on them is great, but as always, I will say, they are not, despite the price, they are not perfect. And if you are paying that price and you're expecting perfect, then really that's not what you're going to get. With these, I do think that they are excellent pads. Most will never and would never buy or own a pair of these mitts. I certainly wouldn't be going to a local boxing show and having these in my bag, because when I go to the ring with my boxer and I come back, I wouldn't expect them still to be there. So, I mean, if you have got these, then you would be using them in your gym and wouldn't let them out of your sight, because obviously you do not want these to get stolen or for someone else to sort of pick them up and you never see them again. So, there's the pads, as you can see, really good targets there in the middle. Really got used to them, love what they look like. I think that they'll last years and years and years. And I also think that because they're going to get better the more that I use them, these will simply, you know, from day one, a bit stiff, to day 100, 200, 300, getting better and better, to the point where actually these will mould to my hands beautiful. So, wanted to bring you them. A real work of art, in my opinion, what he's done there. I love how he puts the logos on, the design cues, and obviously the embossing and things like that. But I also take totally on board that these are a price too high for the majority of people out there. It is great to be able to highlight them on the channel. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel, and I shall speak to you soon.